Howdy gamers, let's talk about the runes for Misfortune. It's almost as basic as it gets, man. All the keystones are worthless for it except for press the attack. With press the attack, hitting an enemy champion with 3 consecutive basic attacks makes them vulnerable, dealing bonus adaptive damage and increasing all damage they take by 8 to 12% for 6 seconds. So it gives you a better 2 auto trade into your Q. It also gives you extra damage that you otherwise just wouldn't have. You also expose them, increasing the damage that they take from all sources, so it can be a supportive rune in that sense. And with most AD carries, the offensive utility in the laning phase is like where it all comes from with press the attack. And then at higher MMRs, you start getting more value as with press the attack and playing in the AD carry role, you're going to be hitting like the targets that are diving onto you, and that's basically it. But when that target dives onto you, you and your team is going to be hitting them, especially better players, and then the exposed damage from press the attack goes a lot further in that sense. But with press the attack, it's mostly just for the 3 autos into just dealing more damage, and with that, it makes it so that you just simply have access to more damage than you otherwise would. The only other keystone that you might like consider on Misfortune would be Conqueror, but with Conqueror, basic attacks and spells that deal damage to an enemy champion grant you 1 stack since you're ranged of Conqueror, giving you bonus adaptive force, which is very small amounts of AD for an AD carry. AD carries want to get their bonus AD from their itemization and not from their runes, as it's harder to build up through runes, and then it's way more consistent to get through the itemization. And then once Conqueror is fully stacked, you heal for 15% of damage that you deal to champions. So, with AD carries too, you're basically always full health whenever you're hitting, and then if you're not, then you're healing from the lifesteal, not from 15% of the damage that you deal to champions. Because yes, you could take all your HP and then look to ult, but that's usually just never how a fight goes. So I don't think there's much contention on that. With press the attack, it's going to give you more damage that you otherwise wouldn't have access to. For the secondary runes, your best option is overheal. In brief instances in which you'd be playing with a CC support, Triumph might be better, because with takedowns with Triumph, takedowns restore 12% of your missing health and grant you additional 20 gold. So in a kill lane like Pyke, Leona, Nautilus, you'd be getting better value out of Triumph, as it'd be restoring your HP, and it would transition into the mid and late game pretty similarly. With overheal, excess healing on you becomes a shield for up to 10 to 10% max health, and then shield is built up from 20 to 100% of excess healing from yourself or an ally. When you're playing with enchanter supports, this goes a long way, but even when you're not, you're going to have a lot of healing from double Doran's Blade, the Bloodline rune that comes next, and then any lifesteal that you end up building. So when you're playing with a range support, this goes a lot further, because this excess shield becomes more valuable as it becomes more effective HP, especially in the laning phase. So whenever you look to trade, the enemy has to get through that shield before they're even hitting your real health. And then once they do, then you're probably healing that anyways. So overheal functions as a lot of effective HP, but in lanes that are kill lanes, so like Pyke, Leona, Nautilus, etc., you don't need this trading tool, as you're effectively not trading, you're just all-inning or not. So you can switch up that rune depending on the matchups. For the third rune, your best option is going to be Bloodline. The attack speed is pretty much luxury for Misfortune, and Misfortune makes such good use out of Bloodline because of how her passive works, just giving you more physical damage on champions. With Bloodline, it's going to give you lifesteal that stacks up for doing basically anything, killing minions, getting kills or assists, killing objectives, etc. And then that bonus lifesteal in combination with double Doran's Blade early and then into a full crit build is going to go so far. It really helps you survive in aggressive situations or defensive situations. For the fourth rune, it's going to be Coup de Grace. You deal 8% more damage to champions who are below 40% health. Just helps you finish off targets, especially whenever this is with your ult. It really does amplify a lot of damage, because it's amplifying your damage by 8%, and that's every single instance of your damage. So with every single tick of Misfortune ult, that being increased by 8% goes a lot further than, say, something like your auto attacks, but the auto attacks, it does help that too. So just amplifying all the damage is just pretty similar to press the attack, just giving you access to more damage that you otherwise wouldn't have. And then get this, for the secondary runes, literally your only options. Nullifying Orb, Nimbus Cloak, and Gathering Storm. With Nullifying Orb, whenever you take magic damage that would reduce you below 30% health, you gain a shield that absorbs magic damage based on your level, and then it's only on a 60-second cooldown. So against Karthus jungle, against any AP bot lane like Syndra, Swain, Vigar, etc., you should really run this when you can. When you're not against those matchups, or even like Syndra mid, when you're not against those matchups, Nimbus Cloak is going to be giving you higher value. With Nimbus Cloak, after you cast a summoner spell, you gain a movement speed increase that lasts for 2.5 seconds and allows you to pass through units. And then the movement speed increase is based on the cooldown of summoner spell. But even if you're just using heal, since bot lane's such a long lane, you do get a ton of value out of this, because even if you're just using your heal, if you're like avoiding a gank, you're going to get way more distance to your tower in the bot lane, even if you're really, really far up by using the heal. And if you're too far up, once you flash away, the extra movement speed from Nimbus Cloak is going to help you turn to auto, so you retaliate a little bit of damage and then also continue to kite. So there's just so much luxury and utility in Nimbus Cloak, especially in solo queue, that it's just such a good rune for AD carries. And then the other rune is going to be Gathering Storm. Gathering Storm, you gain bonus AD every 10 minutes. Most games you're going to be sitting on the 14 AD offered at 20 minutes, and that's completely fine. And then if the game goes later and later, it's even better for you, especially where you're stacking 2 BF Sword items early and Essence Reaver and Infinity Edge. That AD just continues to be valuable no matter the game state. So yeah, these are your best options. Like Inspiration Second with Biscuit's Boots is so outdated and doesn't even come close to matching the utility of Nimbus Cloak, man. Like, not even close. 300 gold on saved on boots? Who cares? I'm going at the speed of light with Nimbus Cloak. Biscuits, you don't need this mana. You just don't. Perfect timing's okay. This is getting nerfed next patch, man. Like, Nimbus Cloak and Gathering Storm is the way to go. The bonus AD offered and the extra utility from the movement speed is so valuable for an AD carry. For the shards, it's always going to be attack speed, adaptive force, and armor. Again, if you're playing into an AP matchup, you could go Magic Resist and then also go Nullifying Orb, but that's really the variation. So that's the runes for Misfortune. Big surprise of what they were. If this video helped you, leave a like on the video, helps me. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I answer literally all of them. And if you're interested in watching me play League of Legends or talk about it somewhere, you can check out my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/SollyNelson. See you there, man. I do like Misfortune, though. When Misfortune support worked, oh my god. That was some of the most, like, the best time I had playing League of Legends. Spamming E and ulting, it was so fucking cool, man.